Hello my little rave gremlins, and welcome to my new video. And what's this video about? Well, I thought I'd take a look at Collision. I've been using it quite a lot recently and I wasn't sure about it when I first got it, but now I'm really starting to quite like it a lot, using it a lot in jams and exploring what it can do. So I thought we could have a little exploration together. I was rather intimidated by it during my first early experiments with it. It was sometimes quite prone to making very sudden, sharp noises that were very scary. And I didn't entirely understand what it was and what it does. And whilst the preset sounded very nice, I couldn't really wrap my head around how to kind of do my own sound design in it. But I've come a long way since those days. And whilst it is a very sensitive instrument and prone to sudden bursts of excitement, once you wrap your head around the basics, you can get some very interesting stuff out of it, ranging from drums and percussion to bass lines, lead lines, plinky plonky, plinky plonks, sometimes big, bowed, blown, enveloping monsters, all sounding very organic and yet somehow alien. I love it. So when you drop it in, by default, you get something like this. I'm going to go to a minor scale for this video. Okay. So basically what's going on here, what we have is these two resonators. And a resonator is basically like a really, really, really short echo, a super, super short echo delay. But rather than it being like 100 milliseconds or 500 milliseconds or a second, it's more like 1 millisecond or perhaps somewhere in between. That's probably a little bit too short. I don't know. But basically, you excite the resonators in various ways to create these feedback loops. You might have played around with Corpus, which is very much the same, pretty much the same engine as far as I know. But that's more for just processing audio, whereas Collision is a polyphonic version of Corpus that we can play from MIDI. So it's all to do with exciting the resonator in certain ways. And depending on the way in which you do that will output different kinds of results. And also depending on the type of resonator algorithm you use will put out different types of results. So we have these two noise sections down here on the left, the mallet and the noise. So the mallet just kind of sends a short, sharp burst of noise into the resonator, which, as you would expect from the name, is quite good for doing percussive donks. Good for drums or for maybe even plucked sounds. So let's have a listen to what the mallet's doing. So as I increase the noise, we kind of get a tiny little bit of noise coming through into the resonator. And for the stiffness, I'm not really too sure what the stiffness is, what type of sound that is, but it could be the noise that's being filtered before it goes in or something, I don't know. You see how it sounds very organic and yet at the same time it sounds very synthetic. It's really interesting. And then we've got this color down here. So that's great for percussive sounds or perhaps even plucked sounds depending on the type of algorithm you use. Like for example, if we use the string algorithm. We can get kind of like very, quite traditional sounding sounds, sort of harpsichords or something, stringed instruments, So that's kind of the mallet. But when we start to play around with the noise, we can excite the resonator in different ways. We've also got a filter on the noise here, which makes a big difference. So I'm going to go back to the beam. I'll turn that decay down a bit. So we can filter the noise quite a lot before it goes into the resonator. And with different types of filters, high pass. But it gets really interesting when we start to play around with the amplitude envelope of the noise. So as I increase the decay there, we start to get this kind of scraping sort of, again, kind of like a bowed type sound you could say, I suppose. Or kind of like a kind of granular bell type sound. Could be like a, you know, like another piece of metal scraping down another piece of metal. Okay, so check out when we increase the attack time of the envelope. We get like maybe a bowed type sound. Maybe let's try the string algorithm. Yeah, I love it. It's good stuff. Good for making textural ambience and also some other things. Crazy, bizarre percussion. Why don't we try and do that? I'm just going to make like some stuff, some random stuff. So I might just delete that one and reload a new one. And maybe I'll start with like a kick drum or something. Let's put the metronome on. Maybe I've got fixed length going on the push, so I can just... Okay, I might just do like... Let's do a kick drum thing. Okay, that'll do. So, how can I make that sound like a kick drum? Well, we've got a pitch envelope, which is nice. So, let's see what we can do with that. And I might just do like a shift down to put it down an octave. There we go. So it's kind of drummy, but it's a little bit ringy. Maybe we could try a different algorithm. Let's try the membrane. Oh, hello. Let's put the volume up a tiny bit. Yeah, interesting. So this little XY thing here is our decay for the algorithm, and material, but that might change depending on the type of algorithm. So for example, maybe if so for the pipe it's the radius, and I don't know what these words mean, but they kind of just change the sound. So decay, obviously the resonator will have a longer feedback, but rather than feedback it's decay. So if we pull that down a bit, kind of get a drum sound. Interesting. Yeah, so let's do something with the mallet, adjust the noise on the mallet. Oh, snare. Maybe a snare there. Okay, I'll keep that in mind for later. All right, that's an okay kick drum sound for now. Okay, that's good. Right, so I'll just duplicate that, and I'll delete that MIDI clip, and in here I'll just put a thing in here, and maybe I can try and do that snare sound that I was... Okay. Okay. Snare sound. All right, we got like a kick and snare. Maybe we could do like just a hi-hat thing, just to make it funky. So I might just do like a repeat thing on the push here. That's fine. So what could we do to, well, we could maybe, let's see. Okay, kind of a hi-hat, but kind of a, almost a woodblock type of thing, I suppose, maybe. I think for this hi-hat, I will go a little bit experimental and maybe use some of the velocity. So I kind of did that at full velocity. So maybe I might use the velocity plugin, which I have set by default to just spit out random velocities, to screw around with this a little bit. So I could maybe assign the velocity to the stiffness. I could assign it to the decay. That snare's kind of vanished. Yeah, okay. Maybe I'll try the membrane again. Oh, go up a bit in pitch. Yeah, I like it. Okay, maybe I'll assign the velocity to the material as well, see what. Okay, maybe a little bit to the noise on the mallet too. And maybe a little bit to the volume. Oh, there we go. So they're all quite delicate. You need to be quite delicate with it, I find. If you kind of go in a bit willy-nilly, then sometimes it can scream at you, but if you just kind of gently move parameters around, you can find these very nice percussive ideas, I think. Maybe I might pull back the decay on that kick drum a bit. Okay, so now let's try something that's less percussive. Let's see if we could get some sort of bass line going. I'll use my keyboard. So I could try and do like a kind of big bowed bass line type sound. So I'll turn the mallet off and I'll use the noise generator with a slow attack and release and decay. Okay, I want to use one mono voices. So what can we, let's try the tube. Oh, I screwed up that MIDI clip there because I got fixed length on. Okay, so I'll try that again. Okay, here we go. Yeah. Oh, that note was a little bit early, I think. Okay, doesn't sound like much right now, but let's do something. Let's try and find something. Okay, so maybe what we could do here is we could actually experiment with the second resonator. You can use the two resonators in parallel, or if you look at the structure down here, you can run one into the second one, and I think 1 + 2 means that they're somehow used together. I don't know, but generally from the start they are used. I think if they're not linked, if they're linked, then you use like two at once, so it's like having two oscillators. But if they're unlinked, I can't tell if I've unlinked that now. I'll just turn this one on and I'll go with the running 1 into 2, because then I can maybe add even more resonance to it, either using the same algorithm twice or a different one. Let's just see. Whoa. Okay, this is interesting. Yeah, it's very nice. I think maybe I'd like to maybe overdrive. I'm going to grunge that up a little bit. Okay, it's a little bit loud now, so that's okay there. But it's big. It's a big bass sound. Okay, maybe I'll just a little bit of glue just to keep it a little bit more squashed. Okay. Okay, nice. Okay, and maybe finally I could do like another kind of ambient melodic thing, but a bit higher up in the register. Okay, let's try the plate. Huh, still going. Okay. Okay, let's. I just wanted to stop that for a second because I want to kind of concentrate on this. Oh, listen to that! I love that. Those tails. I might increase the voices here at the risk of choking my CPU. So maybe, wow, yeah, that's good. Yes, very, very nice. Stop now, stop. Thank you. Right, so maybe with this one I might use the second resonator and see what the 1+2 structure is all about. Okay, so I'm using the plate on resonator 1 and I could use whatever on this one, so try the pipe. I'll pull it down in volume a little bit. Okay, put that release back up. Okay, so that was all sounding good. Let's get the track going again and I'll see what comes to my head. Okay, so it's all getting a little bit exciting. Remember what I was saying about it can all get a little bit overexcited. So I'll pull those volumes down a bit. Okay, I'm just going to drench that with reverb now. If it doesn't sound spacious enough, let's make it even more so. And then let's grunge it up even more. Let's put the reverb into the overdrive. Yeah. Okay, I might use a little bit of my probability MIDI rack here just to not let all the notes through. Okay. That bass is still going. Stop now, stop bass. Still going. So yeah, there you go. That was just a little jam, all with Collision. I might just maybe group those percussion tracks and just slam a drum bus on there just to see how it sounds. It'll probably be overwhelming, but it's all right. What's wrong with that? I should have put the reverb on the send, shouldn't I? Should have done that. Do it now. You don't have to do that, but it's generally a good idea. I might maybe put my probability thing on that hi-hat as well, just to make it a little bit more loose and unpredictable. Yeah, that snare's kind of gone a little bit, isn't it? How can we bring that snare more to life? I suppose I could just turn it up, but... It's there, but it's subtle. That bowed thing is going on for way too long. 6 seconds. Okay, let's pull that back a bit. Yeah, I do like it for percussion. I like the bowed stuff, but like this percussion is really nice. It just sounds very familiar, but at the same time, it sounds like from another planet somehow. Maybe that's just my brain. The kick drum sounds like you're inside a big shipping container and someone's whacking it with a big rubber mallet from the outside, which actually sounds like a horrible experience, but in headphones it sounds quite nice. Okay, well there you go. There was a little look at Collision. Give it a go, give it a chance. You can come up with some very interesting stuff. I love it. I could maybe make a whole album with just Collision. It's really floating my boat right now. So yeah, I'm gonna zip that set up now and go and put it on my Patreon. So if you're a patron already, you can enjoy that. If not, maybe you'd like to become one, and then you can download more sets like this when I put videos out. If you don't want to, that's fine. Just thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. Okay, see you next time. Bye.